Hey foodies, and welcome back to Cooking with Kiana. Today I'm going to show you guys how to sear scallops perfect every single time. If you're looking for something fancy to make but don't have the time to be in the kitchen for hours, this is the perfect recipe for you. All you gotta do is follow these simple steps. Let's get started. So here's everything that you're gonna need for this recipe. You're gonna need some garlic, 2 sprigs of rosemary, olive oil, thyme, butter, and for seasonings, I'm gonna keep it real simple. I'm going to be using 1 teaspoon of garlic salt, 2 teaspoons of creole seasoning, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. When it comes to scallops, less is more when it comes to seasoning, so you want to be really careful that you don't add too much seasoning. So here are the scallops that I'm using. I'm going to be using sea scallops, and this is about a pound. You want to make sure you wash these off good. You want to go ahead and make sure you pat dry your scallops. Make sure they're completely dry. That is important so we can get a good sear on these. Now I'm going to go ahead and just take that seasoning and mix that all together until it's completely combined like that, so I can add the seasoning to the scallops. You just want to go ahead and add a generous amount. You can add less or more than me. It all depends on how you like your scallops. You're also going to make sure you get both sides. So we're going to go ahead and flip that over and do the same thing to the other side as well. And that seasoning is going to give our scallops a nice crust. And because our scallops are dry, it's going to really help that seasoning stick to our scallops, and it's going to give our scallops a nice sear as well. All right, so once we're done seasoning our scallops, we're gonna move on to our aromatics. I'm gonna add some garlic, and I'm just gonna cut the top off of that and set that aside. We're gonna be using that really soon. I would suggest using a non-stick pan for this recipe and heat it on a medium to high, more so on high. And I'm gonna add some butter, make sure that melts, and then we're gonna add in that garlic, and we're just gonna leave that right there. And all of that flavor from the garlic is gonna come out. Now I'm going to add in about 1 teaspoon of dried thyme and 2 sprigs of rosemary. You also want to add a couple tablespoons of olive oil in there as well. That way the butter can reach a higher smoke point, and so the butter does not burn. Do not add in your scallops until the pan is hot enough. Once it is hot enough, you want to go ahead and add in those scallops, and you're going to cook them for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. On one side, once it has a beautiful sear like that, you want to go ahead and flip it over and cook it for another 1 minute and 30 seconds. While they're searing in the pan, make sure you're not moving them around too much. You just want to cook them on one side, flip them over, and cook them on another. Too much movement is going to cause them to not get that beautiful crust that you want. As you can see, they look about done, so I'm going to go ahead and remove these. But before I remove this, I'm going to go ahead and squeeze a half a lemon on this. Just look at that beautiful crust. That is exactly what you want. So let's go ahead and remove these. Once I'm done removing these, I'm going to go ahead and add in my next batch. And I'm just going to repeat those same steps. As you guys see, super simple, and it did not take me long to make. Look at that, we're already almost done. You got a restaurant quality meal and you didn't even have to leave home. All right, so now that these are pretty much done now, let's go ahead and plate this. I'm just gonna go ahead and drizzle some of that butter sauce on top, and we're gonna add some parsley on top to garnish. I hope you guys enjoyed this easy recipe. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, as well as leaving me a like and subscribing to my channel. That way I know that I'm doing my job. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.